We may have had to cut the wall in half, but we went from this to this.
This is another in our series of not how-tos, but how we're doing it and hoping it works out. So first, we're gonna unplug everything. Then we're gonna unbolt this.
Okay.
And then one more. All right, you got it?
Yep.
Alrighty.
And where are we going with it?
I don't know. I didn't really have that pre-planned. Not a lot of planning in this. So we're actually starting this project right now because we need a win. We took all the tires off the camper today, had it all blocked up, went to get brand new tires and rims. Long story short, ended up with one new tire and rim and putting all the old tires back on. So after all that, we were feeling a little down. So now we've decided to jump into this one at almost 8 o'clock at night to get a win. So we're gonna tear this apart, try and get the fireplace put together, and then we'll finish and trim later.
But we are having a cup of coffee while we do it.
Yes, coffee in the evening time.
Yum.
Be nice to have coffee in front of our fireplace.
So nice.
So, if we can just get this tore out tonight and the fireplace cabinet put together and sitting here, I'll be happy. Then we'll come in and we've got some new paneling to put in here. It's gonna make it look pretty and trim, and we'll do that maybe tomorrow. The 4 screws is all that holds this in. This little piece of foam looks like rock.
So this backdrop right here is the one that came original with the camper.
High grade stuff.
We have something new to replace that with. This is gonna be the challenge. What to do with this?
Or to do something different. Something better than Furion. Nothing in the RV is too hard to get apart or to put back together.
That looks like a lot of wires.
There we go. Oh, one more. There it is. Take the doors off next.
What'd you do?
Right, Richard. Whoa, there it is. All right, got the doors off. Should we just rip it off, or should we try and find a way to unscrew it?
I think we should try to find screws.
Let me see. I don't see any. Let's rip it off. Feels pretty screwed. Hey, we're screwed. All right, here's one. Here's one. Here's another one.
The whole shelf came out.
I broke it. There you go.
Good thing we didn't need that.
Right? We'll keep these screws. The screws are handy to have. They're usually a square head screw. They're handy to have around.
Oh, jeez.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at, even Odie is getting nervous. What's happening, Odie?
All right,
This is Odie, our grandpuppy. This is Wyatt's other little dog. Oh, more wires. There's all those wires.
I don't need all those.
Right. I think we do.
This is something we tried to homemade rig up here. We took a regular car charger and
Why did we do
wired
that?
it in. Because the other one was broken, we couldn't find another one to order to put in its place at the time. I think now you can get them pretty easy though. So we're just gonna unwire this carefully. Okay. So these side pieces here are hollow. So I think that's going to be the key to us getting it out. We got to get in there and figure out what's happening. This is a camper-sized crowbar, and there's no
Did you
turning.
have that in your toolbox?
Yep.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. There's no turning back now, so we're gonna pop these off.
I feel like I'm in the line of fire.
It's just a piece of paneling. Look at that.
See, there could have been some nice shelving there. We didn't have the camper long before I figured out that these were hollow. I mean, you could just tap them and tell it's hollow. We had talked about maybe pulling it out and adding shelving in there.
It's funny that they would design a camper like this, have all that space go to waste.
But part of me thinks we just have more junk to put on it, if that was the case. It keeps us from collecting things.
One of the best parts of RVing and living small, living camper size, if you will, is you just can't collect a bunch of stuff. And I think it's better that way. Yeah, I don't know. It must have been stapled in. There we go. This, after the rough day that we've had today with the tires and some other things that were happening just in life, this is like therapeutic ripping this apart. I'm loving it.
Maybe you should give me a hammer.
Yeah. As long as I can get out of the way. So we found some more screws behind there. Tearing stuff apart is therapy. And this is our group therapy right here. We got group therapy and like demolition therapy all at the same time. This stuff is all just garbage. It's almost like scrap wood. Oh, I saw it move. Did you see it? See it move? Look. Oh!
And Kimberly's recording.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's one on the... We don't want to rip up our floor down there.
No.
Alright, you guys are going to want to clear out. I'm about to chunk this out the door. I found $100.
Did you for real?
Yeah, look.
It's mine. I put it to my listen to.
It's actually an 8 of spades.
I think we would have remembered losing $100.
Yeah. Alright, she's moving. We've warned the therapy group to change locations. Out she goes. Ta-da! Look at how beautiful it is. All finished. I gotta go to bed now.
I just visited. I gotta go home.
Oh, come on in. We're just remodeling a little bit. Getting ready to put a fireplace in.
Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Don't miss this, because if we have to rebuild the wall. Ow! Oh, stabbed myself. Whew! Something shot over there. I don't know what that was. Okay. This is another in our series of not how-tos, but how we're doing it. Okay? And hoping it works out. I'm gonna put up a playlist. This is not how-to videos. This is how we're doing it and hope it works out. Y'all ready to see the massive framing woodwork back here?
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. For real. Okay, I'm actually more impressed than I thought I would be.
There it is.
It's like real wood. Huh!
No, it's not real wood. There's a block of real wood.
But this is real.
Just
The
a block.
framing is...
Oh, just a little bit, yeah. These are like scrap wood almost. This is what our TV was mounted to.
Nice. That's why you always wanted it to come off the wall when we travel, right?
Yes. Look at... Okay. This is the board that is secured for our TV to be mounted to. We had our TV hanging on here in that bracket. You saw us take 3 bolts off of there. How many bolt holes do you see in the board that's secured to hold the TV? Just one. And it doesn't even go through the back of that thin little board. That's nuts. We're definitely going to rebuild this and make it stronger so that we can hang our TV up. Craziness.
So this is the list of screws and fasteners and...
Luckily, I'm multilingual, so I can read these instructions in 3 languages. Assembly is English, Assembleia is Brazilian, and Assemblage is French. You too could read this in as many languages as you would like. You put it, yeah, screws right in there. There's like a little plastic sleeve there it goes into. You just take it down to snug. Okay, we're almost done. Look at this. Almost done, huh?
Almost done. 9:15 at night.
Only this many pages left. We'll be done in no time. We are still so good. We're not even quiet hours yet. Look, quiet hours is at 10. Get the circular saw. I'm just kidding. We're not getting the circular saw out at 9:13 at night, just to be clear. Smile and wave, Bob. Almost done. Seriously, this time we are almost done. We're getting ready to put the top on. What you think, Kimberly?
I'm excited. Let's get it done.
Got the top and the doors, and then put the fireplace in, and we're gonna be rolling. Putting the top on. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hope we don't get hit for a copyright on that. That's pretty accurate. There it is. We gotta get the back on there, which holds it solid. Then we gotta get the doors on, fireplace installed. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Woo!
Ta-da!
There it is. You wanna give them a tour?
Okay, so this is the top. Okay, we got this little shelf here, you know, and we got.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
What's that knocking on the door there?
It is a homemade bead hookah thingy. Oh, wait, it.
What's it called?
It's a doorknob tassel.
Ooh, beautiful. Do you love it?
I do love it. We'll get it all set up, get everything put back in its place, and we'll show you the finished product.
We got the fireplace all put together, and we got the board set up against the wall, and we know we got to do some structural stuff in the wall, but we got looking at it and we realized that the slide won't come in with the fireplace here. Look at that. We got about 1 inch. So we thought about just sliding the fireplace out of the way every time, the cabinet, but we don't want to do that. You know how these things are built. They don't do well when you move them a lot. What we're gonna do instead is we're gonna cut our wall in half, and we're gonna put the fireplace under the top part of the wall. So right here, we're gonna mark these boards, and we're gonna cut them, and then we're gonna peel out the bottom half, and we're gonna slide the fireplace back underneath where we cut them. We'll leave the paneling on the other side, so the paneling will go on the back side of these studs and then onto the actual back of the fireplace. That should give us the clearance we need to close the slide and leave the fireplace in place. I marked lines where I want to cut studs in the wall. Now we're going to cut those studs at those marks, remove them, and remove the board at the bottom. And then we're going to put in a new, call it a header board, across the bottom of them. And this will set on top of the desk and at the bottom of the studs. First thing we're going to do is set the saw to the depth of the stud so that we don't cut into the board behind it. That should be the right height. Lock it in place. Now we'll cut it as evenly as we can. Cutting the wall in half. Got into it just a little there, but you won't see it on the other side. Now we're going to take the screws out of the bottom board that's screwed into the floor, and hopefully that just pulls away. Hopefully it's just staples holding it in to the paneling here. See the screws right there? I think there's only 2 screws holding this whole bottom board in. Take those out and we should be able to remove it. The angle of the screws is not going to allow us to get in there, so we're going to have to break them. Bottom half of the wall is removed. There we go. I smoothed out the spot on the floor where the screws were at and got them out of there. We slid the fireplace back in there. So here's the door, slides out, and there's the back of the old wall, the paneling. And then here's the header board that we put in. And so this will go all the way to that paneling. That'll come up tight like that. Put this header board on here that'll rest on top of the fireplace. That looks like a good fit. Now, let's see if the slide will close. That's the big thing. If the slide doesn't close, this is all for nothing. See if the slide will come in. It's looking pretty good from here. I mean, how much clearance do you really have to have anyway? A finger width? 1 finger width, but I got big fingers, so that works for me.
It works.
Look at this. This place looks awesome. Look, it looks awesome all closed up like this. It's like a little white tunnel.
Looks crazy.
That is so cool looking. Anyway, I think this will be success. Now we just got to pretty it up. We're going to obviously build this up a little bit and get our paneling up and then get our TV hung up, and we'll be in business. Kind of framed the whole thing in. We re-secured that TV mount. They had never put any staples on this side, so we went ahead and put staples on that side. And then we put 2 screws on this side and 2 screws on that side as well. And now we're getting the trim put up. We're able to reuse this trim. We just cut it down. So we put the other half there so it covers the wood. So it's got a nice look to it. We're gonna get the rest of the trim put up on this side and on the top and the bottom. We got the cord run through up top down to the heater, fed it through the wall. I'm making this panel so that all we got to do is basically unbolt the TV and pop the trim, and we can take it off. So if we got to run cords through there, audio, video cords, what have you, we'll be all set to do that. We won't have to tear it apart. It'll actually just be removable. Okay, so the panel is basically loose. We're gonna mount the TV and that'll hold it in there. Other than that, it's just sort of framed in by this trim, so we can pop it off easily to work behind it if we want to. We might need a new piece of trim when we do that. Could possibly break this, but it's only about $6 or $7 for this trim like this. So this trim is just basically kind of like a foam or plasticky. It's inexpensive, easy to replace, and you don't have to have any fancy tools to cut it. You could actually cut it just with a razor knife, which is what I'm gonna do right now. Go. Ready for a TV right there. I'm going to come back later and do more work to secure the fireplace cabinet down to the floor and to the back of this wall. I think it turned out pretty darn good. Got it all framed in there. We're going to recover our little pieces that go up here, so that'll tie that in. We got this project done just in time too, because it's supposed to be cold tonight and it's already started raining. Supposed to go down to 40 degrees, but now we've got a fireplace with a nice wall and a nice TV. I think that looks really good. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing and hit the bell for notifications on RV related tours, upgrades, repairs, and adventures. Thanks for coming along. We'll catch up with you next time.